Welcoming you back to crypto's juiciest news. BTC crashing. $98,000, could be even lower. Why 98,000? Why not 9,000? I mean, crashed to zero. What's the point of all of this in the first place? I've got a cracker episode coming your way, friends. There's actually a lot of crypto adoption, positive news. The price action doesn't care. Crypto hitting extreme fear, literally Bitcoin hitting extreme fear and levels like we last saw in 2022. It's been here for a while. Burry closing his fund. I did make a full video on that. We'll cover that again. Some UFC partnerships. The XRP, did they get their spot ETF? Yes, they did. What did Vitalik say about trustlessness and the fundamentals of crypto? We've even got a central bank out there buying $1 million worth of Bitcoin and crypto. All of that coming your way and more. Bitcoin right now, $98,000, crashing below it because who the hell cares? Send it to zero. We have Bitcoin, 2 red monthly candles, nothing we can do about it. We had green September, and then we had Floptober, and now Flopvember. It has been horrific. I know we all seek answers. I want answers too. This is the short-term price action. Bitcoin, it's stabbing under this level out here. It has done a lot of stabs. I think what's interesting, what we should do, friends, is using this price action stuff, we'll go back to have a look at what it looked like, say, in June this year. It did do this like scammy stuff as well, right? Where it comes out and it stabs too. Okay, see, it breaks the level. I just want to show you. It's what it looks like, you know what I mean? Like it literally just cracks the level lower. Here you go. See this? Cracks the level right low. So you have all these levels, cracks actually under it, and for some reason just starts going up, okay? And then even if you go down as well, maybe we can go back and look at Trump tariff tantrum stuff. This was it, okay? This looked like full crack. I mean, check this out. This was funny as well. It cracked the level. It came back out and then it's like, you know what? No, you're actually dead. We've actually double cracked the level. And then look what happens. Just starts going up. Just starts going up. So I remember I talked briefly about this with this price action. This short-term stuff. You know what I mean? Oh, it's squiggly line up and down. Squiggly line has gone up. No, squiggly line has gone down. Not relevant if you're just waiting day to day, but I'm hoping, and we are all hoping, once again, it is hope and cope. Same stuff, don't know. This is what we're witnessing right now. You're like, hey, we made a level here. Oh. So we'll see how this reacts to it as well. There's a lot of people calling for literally the end of the cycle. We've got Jamsun, we've got Taiki, still short, refusing to exit. They're adding to their shorts. Still short. I mean, Jamsun got liquidated 46 times. He's short again somehow. I think he's short. I think he's short again. He's found like, I don't know, $1,000 somewhere. He's just putting on a leverage short. So you and I, friends, of course, navigating this cycle has been very tough out here. But what is the actual main concern of everything, friends? I just want to show you. This is ETH-BTC, okay? If you want to know something, why is there discrepancy? Okay, is it just the prices? Yeah, you could just summarize it. You know, it's the prices. Like, we just haven't gone up what we think is fair value for crypto. We don't think crypto, the total crypto industry. Personally, I just don't think it's worth 3 trillion, bro. I just don't think it's worth 3 trillion. This is me. I think it's worth 10 plus. All right? Here's Boba the Bear getting Arthur hazed as well. Okay, that's what we want. We want the bears to get liquidated. Okay, here's your daddy. That's just personally me. Yeah, I'm biased because I'm long, right? Bull market, bear market. I'm just trying to learn off Warren Buffett, man. I'm not trying to think about, hey, are we going into a recession tomorrow or next year? That's not how Warren Buffett was investing. He's just trying to look at, just look at these fundamentals and valuations. Now, obviously, he'd look at stocks, but you're trying to, respect someone and their talent. It's kind of like someone who's amazing at basketball, who's giving advice about, sometimes you see the player before they act. And then someone maybe who's playing football, they might think, oh, wow, I see the same thing too. Just giving you an example out here. But the actual crux of the issue, friends, what is the actual crux? The critical part. The critical part is actually, it's this. Ethereum in our bear market 2022, that big one, okay, we've probably been in a bear market now, right? But in 2022, Ethereum, its ETH-BTC did not go down. It actually went up. Okay, this is what ruined everything. This is what, in terms of ruining the patterns. Okay. Ethereum, here you have January. Okay. So let's just say from Jan, dude, from by 2023 Jan starting, I mean, like it's literally it's up. Okay. Or it's flat. Okay. That's good. So it's flat to up. All right. Ethereum going up means Bitcoin dominance goes down. All right. That is not normal. Okay. Normally in the Bitcoin bear markets, the Bitcoin dominance just rallies, which I'll show you. Okay. Why? Because everything was just garbage. Okay. This is normal bear market stuff. Bitcoin dominance goes up like that. Okay. However, for the first year, well, in 2022, look what happened. We went sideways. You see this? We went sideways. And then this is the next part that screws everyone's mind. Okay, now that the bull market is starting, Ethereum was weak. What? How does that happen, dude? Hey, it happened. ETH-BTC, this is like, you'd think, you're like, excuse me, you survived FTX, Celsius, all the Ponzi's collapsing. And now that the actual bull market is starting, ETH-BTC drops 80%. And I'm not even making that up. It literally dropped 79.2, 80%. It makes you scratch your head. Don't scratch too hard. You're like, wait, so during the massive capitulations, crypto going to zero, altcoins, stablecoins depegging, Luna collapse, Celsius, FTX, soybeans spilled all over the crypto industry, Ethereum was strong. And then when Roca Negra said, we're going to give you an ETF, we believe in crypto, and everything's going to be great in the future, and the US Fed, actually the economy didn't go into recession, the US economy was okay, Ethereum was weak? What the hell? What's going on? Well, Habibi, I wanted to investigate. I've given you the answer already, friends. It's the PMI. Okay, that is the PMI. All right, that's what it comes down to. All right. So effectively, this is me. Okay, look, I don't make this up. I observed. Okay, I observed with my nostrils as well. I gave it a good sniff. Okay, what I observed is, okay, when we're buying altcoins outside of Bitcoin, okay, any altcoin, it's a call option. Okay, it's a call option on a network effect growing. A call option means you pay a little for it, you're buying insurance, and then you hope it goes up. If it goes up, it's leverage on the upside. The problem is, if you buy insurance, friends, they decay over time. Okay, so we got to see altcoins, they decay with the PMI, the average person sentiment. So every 3 months that passes, if the economy is not looking after the little guy who's thinking about speculating on the future, which is what crypto is made for, joining networks, okay, and changing the future of finance and stuff. If the economy is not picking up, you get this volatility crush, which is literally, I hope this kind of makes sense, every single altcoin chart you ever see. They look like this, don't they? Okay, that's why you're looking at it in the bull market, and then what do they look like? That, and they have this volatility crush over time because the PMI is low. All right, but then what happens is you're like, okay, how long is this period of time? Well, we investigated it, right? That's why I showed you on the PMI. How long is that crush period of time? Well, in the past, it was 6, 12, and 10 months. Unfortunately, and I just don't know what do we do, friends? This is it. We just literally got cucked. We're on month 36, okay? We're on month 36, okay? So, like, I guess we've learned the lesson for the future. It's kind of like too late now. But now you know in the future, if you're betting on a good outcome for altcoins, there's a decaying function against you, which you kind of knew anyway, okay? But the longer that the middle class slides, the more difficult it gets, okay? But, you know, that's what I'm talking about, the hindsight talk, okay? That tells us nothing about the future. Because here's the thing, friends. You might say, but something like, you know, at some point, and, you know, everyone would be concluded, you're like, dude, we knew, friends, at some point here, it was like month 18. And we're like, hey, it's the longest so far, which, like, it's the cheapest so far. Yeah, but the cheapest became like ultra, ultra, ultra cheap. Okay. So look, I'm just what I'm just telling you, friends, is, okay, be careful, because people will take this information and they go, okay, therefore everything's cooked, I'm leaving. Okay, click sell and leave. I don't care. I'm just explaining to you how we got here. Okay, because it's easy to look at yourself and call yourself like the biggest retardio of all time. Okay, because you think everyone else is a genius but you. But let me tell you something, friends. You know the people out there who are using Bitcoin, they're not using Bitcoin, dude. They're praying the next guy pays more for it than they do. Okay, it's literally just, it's a volatile tech stock. That's pretty much what we've been able to see so far. Okay, now Bitcoin dominance is still hanging around here. Okay, it's around 60%. We are waiting for a conclusion. If you go down to the weekly candles, friends, I mean, like, I think it's due for a drop. Look at this. It's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green weeks in a row. And this is all it can do. 9 green weeks in a row, man. That's wild. 9 green weeks in a row. So I think, like, that's pretty much, man, that's wild, man. That's wild. You might say, oh, but is that bullish or bearish? Well, you just think about, like, that's like the final drive. Hey, I'm going to give you like 9 weeks in a row of punishment, which is altcoins bleeding and stuff out here. And this is the maximum price it can go. It can't even go anywhere near the high. I'm hoping it's a sign of exhaustion, okay? What I now want to show you is gold, friends. Gold, obviously doing the cute little retrace out here. And everyone's, obviously, as soon as it came here, friends, everyone got euphoric here as well, bro. This is literally altcoins all over again. Every single market does this, okay? Everybody gets exactly euphoric right into the retracement here. Like, it just comes back. They go, oh my gosh, here's the 61% retrace. It's funny, if you remember, back in 2021, that 61% retrace was the euphoria point for Dogecoin mania, which is actually, if we go up here, friends, Bitcoin, the 61% retrace, it came here. Here was Saturday Night Live. Elon Musk goes on goes on Saturday Night Live to shield Doge, and then that's the top. It's literally down only from that point, and it was all over. Okay, see how the market, everyone gets euphoric onto that retrace. That's keep that in mind, because I'm now going to show you why I say blockchain backer believes if there is a retrace, and it's a blockchain backer thinks it's all over, right? So he thinks there's one last push here, and he thinks this is going to be that. If there is a tiny little bit of hope, that's all you get. And he thinks this happens fast. This is the final alt season wave, and he thinks after this point, Bitcoin's going down to 70 or 60,000. Okay, so I'm just showing you consistently there is this phenomena where it's on the retrace into that 60 to 70% return, where everyone's like, oh my gosh, super euphoric out here. It's actually very common. The most bullish of news and stuff appears. Okay. Now what I want to do, friends, I'm going to show you some stonks. This is the NASDAQ. This is the NASDAQ, friends. As you can see, what I've done is this is just a cash session, so we can have a look at what's happened. I think it's nice just to look at the US cash session. It's very important, just for sentiment and stuff. Just to get an idea of what's going on, right? So obviously the latest candle was like a full-on 2% drop. Everything's down like 2 to 3%. This is a NASDAQ. Everyone's looking at it really, really high. You have Michael Burry, not Michael Cherry or Michael Strawberry, just Michael Burry, pretty much saying it's all over, of course. He closed his fund and he says it's all over still. Here we have the racist Russell 2000 continuing its racism. Unfortunately, I mean, like, bro, what type of scamming are you? Like 10 times. Literally, I think it was like 8 times you fake under the all-time high. And now you've come back and just done this. So, whatever, man. I'm like, we got no answers, friends. I just got no answers. The industry's just trash. It's just literally, it's trash. Here's more hope and cope. Global liquidity fractal that doesn't work anymore. And the gold rotation slipping away more and more. Yeah, it doesn't work day to day. You know, we're praying it works day to day. The correlations go in and out. And then it traps you, yada, yada. What can we do? Some facts, though. I mean, like, here's just facts, friends. Here's the US Fed balance sheet, dude. You know, it's really, friends, really coming down to the wire here. Like, you really got to believe, man. It's like, if we make it, I mean, like, this, we actually have a green others BTC candle. Would you believe it? What does that mean? That means the poop risk coins are actually up against Bitcoin for the month of November. Would you believe it? You wouldn't believe it. It's true. It's literally true. Look at it. It's literally true. Okay. And the last time we did this was when they stopped QT in August 2019. you know. So I wanted to show you that data point because you're not going to hear that data point from everybody saying it's over, okay? That's why I tell that to you, because there's 50,000 arguments saying it's over, 4-year cycle, liquidity, nobody's buying, yada, yada, yada. Here's my RSI divergences. Here's what happened in the past. And I'm showing you, okay, bro, we're going off things that happened in the past. Last time the Fed stopped the QT, it was literally the bottom for altcoins. And there wasn't immediate euphoria. It took like 6 months. Then you had zombie virus. Then things started running, okay? Let's crack on with some news as well, friends. So we have Bitcoin hitting extreme fear, 15 out of 100, as it continues to dump, despite 150 positive news releases. And obviously the answer to all of these, friends, why? The real explanation, it just comes, it's just, that's its price action, man. That's it. It always is that, okay? You know, the narrative is fugazi. The stories and the narratives, they're always traps. They don't actually mean anything. It's all about the price action, okay? That moves first, okay? Price action moves first. There has just been an enormous amount of Bitcoin supply being dumped for months. Also, sad news, but true. Bitcoin is now negative since Trump came in. Yeah, that's wild. Bitcoin is actually negative since Trump inauguration. What do you do, man? I just don't know what you do. Just telling your friends that the economy's still, everybody's still spinning the wheels. This year's been absolutely trash. They're going to have to do some mega print. I just don't know what it is. There's always this rumors of like, oh, there's always this bullshit uncertainty. There's like, oh, they're not releasing the US data CPI because it's bad, and the US Fed doesn't like it because of this and that. They can go eat a fat one, okay? I don't believe any of that stuff, okay? They're gonna cut. Friends, it's funny every single time I get to this point. Blue-pilled cucks who literally watched the ice cream cabal pop a bullet in the neck of Charlie Kirk right in front of your face, okay? There's all these things that are literally uncovering right in front of you, but they planted a zombie virus and they jabbed everybody. You know what I mean? Like they've, like, I don't know how, blue pill cucks, you're literally 0 for 11 on the board, bro. You had 0 from, you don't even have 1. Okay, maybe if you're going to get 1, I want to see Bridget Macron if she's got a willy or not. If she doesn't have a willy, then okay, you get 1 out of 11. Okay, so he's still losing 11-0, by the way. But maybe your first point will be if Bridget's got a willy. Oh, no, she doesn't have a willy. If she does have a willy, oh, God help you, though. God help you if Bridget Macron actually has a willy. Like, just, you know, that's the last conspiracy pretty much left, okay? So these blue pill cucks, they're actually coming, oh, my God, these politicians who just lie to me 24/7. They're saying, oh, they might not actually cut the rates and print money. Oh, gosh, God bless you. Of course they're going to do it, friends. Of course they are. They're just going to find an excuse. It's going to come down to the wire and something's going to happen. Okay, as always. What I'll now do, friends, I'll show you some blockchain backer charts just to show you. This is pretty much just everyone's doomer porn for doomers and bears. So this is pretty much, this is a fractal. It's kind of funny thing about it. It's showing, oh yeah, these squiggly lines that happened in the past, they're repeating again. You know, but that's pretty much it. It's just to see, we're repeating again. He believes Bitcoin's going down to, this is actually 50K down here. And I'm just going to show you. So he's also concerned about MicroStrategy because MicroStrategy has rolled over harder here. And he believes it's like the end of 2021, MicroStrategy stock. And he's saying, he goes, hey, well, the one thing is the Bitcoin dominance. That's why, friends, I spent this first segment showing you what's the weird stuff. Something really weird happened. Ethereum, which is an altcoin, was strong in the bear market and then became weak in the bull market. Okay, which stuffed up a lot of Bitcoin dominance movements and everything out here. Okay, so that's why it's kind of like messed up a couple of these things. The price action of the players is shifting and changing. This is showing you, this is Bitcoin dominance, the blue line, and the candles are Bitcoin, showing you that at the very end of the runs, this is what traditionally happens. The final flush up, Bitcoin dominance goes down. That's just traditionally how it happens. But like, I invite you to think, now that there are bigger players who are acting differently, I invite you to entertain the thought that there might be like these just Ethereum focused windows of time where Ethereum just gets bought up. And Bitcoin doesn't get participation in it, which I know sounds 0% of probability to a lot of people, but just now that you have new players, you got to entertain that thought. Like, why can't that happen? Okay, why can it happen? Oh, because it's never happened in the past. Okay, you're literally living a cycle that's never happened in the past, you know? So that's what I'm just showing you, you know? Here we have as well his final, he goes, literally, it's game over. You're going to, if you're lucky, you retrace here and it's literally game over and you go down to zero. This is where he's saying it's the end. So during this moment, he goes, everybody's going to believe that, you know, Euphoria is here and then it's all gone to zero. Man, I'm just telling you, fans, like a lot of these people, like, I'll tell you, like, you can do what you want. I don't know what's happening, but geez, man, if these guys are wrong and we actually go up, okay, like, they're gonna be copping this for like 12 months. Like, this is really, really, really bad. This will be really bad if they're actually wrong and we actually go up. Like, oh my god, it'll be shocking because everyone sold the low. Right now, if we go down, like, oh well, whatever, we don't know what's going on. But if it actually goes up, everyone's lost 50% of their position. Yeah. Like, you've waited the whole time. You literally sold the bottom. Like, it'll be. I know that, friends. I know the crowd. I know the crowd, dude. I know the crowd. I see comments and replies, even to BCB. Everyone says, I followed you. I believe in you. I followed you. Even though he says, no, don't. You make your own decision, man. I'm just presenting my unbiased data, which is always bearish. And then everyone's saying, I followed you, dude. I believe it. I'm trusting in you. Yeah, so it's tough. But yeah, but people might, yeah, you might say, oh, but Sammy, I'm long just because of you. But yeah, bro, here's the thing. We all understand no crying in the casino. You know, we're here every step in the way. That's why they're just squiggly lines, dude. I got no freaking idea. I got no idea what happens next. I literally have no idea. I'm always trying to break the paradigm. It's just that our nuts keep getting kicked. As we've seen as well, friends, Michael Burry has closed down his fund Sky On after looking for shorts for 15 years in the market. So oftentimes, friends, he's been calling for a big crash, and I'm not joking, every 12 to 13 months for the 15 years. I'm not even joking. Like, Great Depression, big crash, overvaluation. He believed the stock market ETF was going to collapse back in 2012, and then in 13, like, I'm not joking, the QE bubble had popped at QE1. He said it was all over after QE1. Like, over and over and over again. There's like a long list of stuff. Since that point, the S&P 500, the Smelly Poop 500, is up 287%. Just buy and hold. So that's a 3.8x on your money. 287%. That's huge for boomers, right? When you're getting 10% per year, 8 to 10%, right, in a winning year. So, yeah. And, friends, he's closed his fund. Yeah, it is probably some sort of topping signal for the next 6 to 18 months when we look back and we go, oh, the time to start thinking about the danger is like, okay, we got Michael Burry out. But yeah, we still got plenty of bears out there, okay? He also still believes AI is massively unsustainable and a bubble. And he says it's going to pop. And he doesn't want any public pressure reporting to the SEC. Some people who are like, a lot of people who are bearish with him, they're saying that he's going to the shadows now because we're going to have the final bubble leg up, and he doesn't want to be talking to the crowd because it's going to be too like intense as he's looking for shorts or something. But look, friends, I made you have to watch this video, friends, because if you don't like obviously I came into markets, friends, I was just looking for shorts 24/7 because I came post GFC trading, and then here he is breaking. Michael Burry closes his fund, the big short bear capitulates. Okay, so horny bulls liquidated. Okay, you understand, dude? Friends, it's not, you know, if you're flipping a coin, heads or tails. Okay, when you're long and short on assets, it's not heads or tails, even though it looks like it in the short term because everything's random, up or down, up or down, up or down. But the longer your time frame, it's not actually heads or tails, dude. It's actually 90% heads, 10% tails over time because, okay, the asset, let's say Bitcoin or the Nasdaq or the smelly poop companies, whatever it is, or gold, okay, the asset is different to the denominator on top, on the bottom, okay? So BTC against USD, okay, it's not heads or tails. It's not red or black, okay? It's literally something that's scarce and then something that keeps getting minted infinitely, okay? It's literally, friends, it's like owning, okay, the teeth in your mouth, you cherish them a lot, versus tulips that grow out of the ground. You just keep growing tulips, okay? But you can't keep growing your own teeth. You see what I mean? But when you're looking for shorts, what are you doing? You're borrowing that scarce asset on top, okay? And then you're betting that the tulip gets stronger, Okay, and yeah, there are moments where the tulip gets strong and we have these bubble pops all the time. But if he's been doing it 15 years, so you can understand the probabilities that are working against you if you do that, you know? Obviously, we know all these. Unfortunately, the PMI still hasn't gone up. So it would have been nice if long-term holding had paid something off in crypto besides, say, Bitcoin. Everyone says, oh, yeah, Ethereum and stuff out here. But, dude, Ethereum went down 79% against Bitcoin in the past 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, you've taken, like, an excessive amount of risk and you're down 80% against Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, it's not... It's basically saying you went to a restaurant to get fed and all they brought you out was literally one peanut on a plate. And they go, hey, man, at least you're eating. We gave you dinner. Like, bro, it's not dinner, dude. It's one peanut on a plate, okay? The UFC has announced an exclusive partnership with crypto prediction platform Polymarket, friends. Pretty wild to see. And yeah, it's really good for adoption and everything out here. Also, Mr. Custard has been putting me, I look like a Final Fantasy VII anime character out here. Me just chopping bananas out here. Chop, 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 chop. Here we go. Eating bananas. Vitamin B. Good for you. So, with this UFC partnership and more crypto adoption things, it's just, yeah, it's everyone's confused. Like, man, how does everybody in the world want us to succeed and we can't go up? I don't know, man. It just could be that giant Bitcoin supply. That's it. It's just giant Bitcoin suppliers exiting. You know who they're exiting on? It's not retail buying. It's Wall Street. Who's going to win? We'll see. That's like maybe Wall Street knows something those early Bitcoin giant guys don't. You know, one guy dumped $9 billion of Bitcoin, 60,000 BTC, and Raoul Pal says he knows the guy. Okay, I know there's some rumors. Some people say it was Richard Hart. I don't think Raoul Pal would have said something like that. But yeah, so Raoul knows who the guy is who actually sold the 9 billion and they used it through Galaxy Digital, which is Mike Novogratz's thing. Yeah, so just giving you one example, right, of people just cashing out just for the sake of cashing out. But we'll see. All right. France has lifted Telegram CEO Pavel Durov's travel ban. He's free to leave the country. The investigation into Telegram remains open. Wild. Remember, friends, just quickly, I'm showing you this because it feels like just good news is appearing into the universe. That's why I'm showing it to you. Like you know, Tornado Cash Guy is no longer in jail. Like we're having this release of good news. I feel like there's a bit of these hopeful stuff for Year of the Horse, which starts in February next year. Okay, technically next year's Year of the Horse, but like that's why I kind of feel like maybe January is going to have a bit of a yes Year of the Horse, and then we're going to be like, there's going to be one last showdown of Year of the Snake. And I don't know when it's going to come. Maybe end of January or something. Like the final finisher. Or in the final week of Year of the Snake, something happens, right? Whenever it is. So it will be fun. Hopefully we get to celebrate together. But yeah, so Pavel Durov as well. Remember, so the whole thing, friends, it was Israel Army's database of all their soldier locations and addresses and info was being distributed on Telegram. This is when they were bombing, you know, the Palestine stuff. This is what, 2024 or something? Yeah. And basically what happened is, obviously, the ice cream cabal, Israel, the Mossad, not Mo Happy Mossad, they called up Pavel, obviously find him. They go, hey, delete this channel server now. And he goes, no, I can't. I respect privacy and everybody's rights. And so what do? They set him up with a honey trap, some random 18-year-old slurry. And he basically went on a private jet with her. They went to France. She took selfies and they arrested him because they knew where his location was. They were only there for like 5 hours. Okay, so she was there and she took selfies. She uploaded it to Instagram, right? Him and her. And so the authorities came and arrested him. So obviously they went in, they beat him up. Okay, they obviously told him, I haven't listened to his full story. I don't know if he admits what happened with that. I think he says like, oh, no, here's a story and stuff. Like, dude, you know, they could beat you up and go, oh, by the way, if you mention anything about my country's name, yeah, we'll literally slit your throat and we'll steal everything because we know exactly where you keep all your money. You know what I mean? So, you know, we could have all those threats and stuff out here, but his ban has been lifted, okay? So it's a first sign of stuff. Just to let you know, friends, remember, ultimately we're red-pilled. We understand how the world really works, right? But it goes through waves, you know? It goes through waves. That's why, like, all this stuff that's been heating up. That's why I've always been yelling. I'm like, hey man, like you're gonna have, like the people are getting restless. Like they know they're in a simulation in the matrix and they don't actually have any power. And you keep reminding them of how poor they are. You need to throw them a bone. Where is the bone? Okay, they have to throw them a bone. XRP spot ETF has gone live, friends, and then XRP dumped. No surprise there. It's correlated to everything else, obviously, as we get to see, because the news, what does it mean? Nothing. You know, even Saylor got the ETF. What does it do? Nothing. Okay. Sol ETH is still bleeding after the Sol ETF. Right? So I'm just hoping that things turn around. There's hope and cope, you know. Okay, so if we go into a bear market for a year, then what? You know? Is it going to be the same shit? Bitcoin goes up for 2 years and then altcoins now maybe go up in 2029. Okay, that means it's been 9 years of holding. That's what everyone's betting on. That's what they're all saying. So I don't know, man. I just don't think it's going to play out like that. We'll see. Taiwan is reviewing its seized Bitcoin to assess a potential national Bitcoin reserve by the end of year. That's absolutely wild. Thank you, Taiwan. Not shirt one, Taiwan. So we have more crypto adoption, more central banks out there, all governments want it. Ethereum founder Vitalik signs a trustless manifesto urging builders to resist intermediary dependence. Trustlessness is the foundation. Everything else is construction on top of it. I know because he's speaking like an alien here, but that's like, friends, the whole foundation of crypto and altcoins is that they are all trustless to own. Okay? I know everyone's like, but the risk and speculation and revenue, dude, you forget the whole reason why it's cool in the first place. It's because it's actually yours, bro. It's actually yours. Okay? Like, we forget that. Of course we forget that because price is down. No one gives a shit. Okay? But it's actually yours, man. You can actually send it on the internet and no one can actually stop you. That's not how most of the world works. Most of the world works with 15 signatures and there's legal stuff and like, you don't really actually own this and you can get sued and stuff. And there's limitations and gold has storage costs, right? But with crypto, it's actually trustless, dude. You actually own it. Is the world going to wake up? I hope one day. Saylor says Bitcoin will surpass gold's market cap by 2035. There's no doubt in my mind Bitcoin will be a larger asset class than gold by the year 2035. Gold is 30 trillion now, friends. So I think if Bitcoin gets to gold 30 trillion, that's a $1.4 million BTC. That is what, 2 or 3 cycles. Yeah. I hope it gets there. I hope it does. Also, Czech Central Bank buys $1 million worth of Bitcoin and crypto. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Does anybody care? No. So the news, friend, the news is good and bad news and stuff. That doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter at all. It's the price action that matters. It's just supply demand. There's big guys cheating out. They're $9 billion of BTC, and we're all caught in crossfire. Now what I want to do is show you the MicroStrategy MNAV. It is bleeding down to 0.948. And yeah, so it's below 1. I mean, like, if you there's all these different numbers as well I'm looking at here. This is MNAV with the fully diluted market cap. And this is MNAV with enterprise value. So you have all these COPE numbers. It doesn't really matter. But as far as I'm concerned, MNAV basic, that's it. MNAV basic is literally the basic market cap divided by Bitcoin holdings. There you go. Okay. Bitcoin is trading 5.5% cheaper on MicroStrategy's balance sheet than it is on public open market. Now, of course, you can have a very, very bearish take on that, friends. As always, there's always these bearish takes on like, oh no, things just aren't working. But look, man, I'm just thinking, dude, like, I was planning this a long time, friends. Remember, I said if we got here, I remember I'm just guessing, man, just like everyone else. But I guessed if we got to this MicroStrategy BTC ratio where now its MNAV is actually negative, people will think, oh, that means everything's actually over now. And then I'll say no. What that could mean probably is it's the beginning of the end, which is the final wave alt season leg up. Okay, not like months or anything, like you don't know. But in terms of it's a sign the Bitcoin demand has slowed down, you know? That's why everybody in crypto thinks, okay, Bitcoin demand slows down, therefore there's no demand for literally anything in the industry. There's new players here now. You don't know that. You don't know that. There's stablecoin supercycle. The stablecoins, there's Ethereum rails. There's Ethereum layer 2s. There's Pulse chain stuff, right? It's all linked to Ethereum, smart contracts, all that functionality, right? There's these other things that are happening now besides just digital pet rock, do nothing with your stuff, Bitcoin. Okay, which obviously Bitcoin governments probably want to add functionality and stuff to, which they don't need to, like, you know, worry about changing the vote on Bitcoin. They just do it with Ethereum. Okay, I know that's contrarian take because we always feel bad, but you know that's what happened with GBTC, man. If you friends like with the grayscale Bitcoin, remember it turned negative in January 2021. If you looked at that and go, oh, there's no demand for Bitcoin, people are not buying Bitcoin on the ETF thing anymore, it's all over, you were wrong. It was just that the money coming in had a preference now to go further down the risk curve. Okay, which maybe that's what we're looking at with MicroStrategy right now. So yeah, friends, you know, putting it all together, it is just hope and cope. I hope you appreciate it, friends. Like, we'll just have this total self-reflection. Like, we know, dude, like at no point was I ever like, we're just it's all definitely gonna work out. It's just like, hey, we're just praying, man. We're just freaking praying that we just don't keep getting scammed, bro. By the way, technically, I mean, friends, Ethereum has had 8 red monthly candles this year. I mean, like, that's what it did in 2022. So, you know what everyone's saying? Wait, it's funny. What's the contrarian take? Okay, ultra contrarian. There's people saying we're still in the bull market, okay? And there's everyone else saying, no, we actually started the bear market. Maybe the contrarian take is we're in a bear market, but we didn't just start it. We just ended it. That could be it. Could have been it based off this year. You're just making up stuff, man. You don't know. Bitcoin price action around 98. Hopefully this stab down doesn't work. But here's the thing, friends, as well. We all know blockchain back is going to be like, he's waiting for that. If we get here and we're euphoric and we think it's really like, oh my gosh, it's happening. And because you got to remember, friends, they're actually, the QT stops like right here and the last Fed rate cut, I think, like right here. Gosh, I hope, oh man, I hope to God. I hope to God. Can we, you know what? Don't stop believing. Like, subscribe, belly button, all. Catch you soon.